Hello, my name is Harry Davis, and I'd like to introduce you to two books that the Lord has led me to write. And these books are based on the parable of the sower and soil. Uh, in this parable, Jesus uses the analogy of agriculture to explain to the people about Him, His Word, and all our role in receiving that word and producing fruit with it. And specifically in that parable, he identifies four spiritual conditions, or soils, if you will. And the only condition that produces fruit for the kingdom is what he called good soil. He made two profound statements about this parable that we should stop and listen to. When asked by his disciples about what the parable meant, he said, "To you has been granted to know the mysteries of the kingdom of God." Then he said, if you don't understand this parable, how will you understand all the parables? Clearly, embedded in this parable are key components in understanding and being effective for him in the kingdom. This parable is documented in three of the four Gospels. The only Gospel that it's not in is the Gospel of John. So these books examine the four spiritual conditions and unpacks them and takes a look at Jesus ministering to each of the four spiritual conditions, and then takes a look at the overall protocol in the Bible for the the improvement or the rehabilitation, if you will, of the three conditions to bring it to a point of good soil. Let's take a look at the books. Counseling the Faith, Volume 1, Learning the Ways of the Wonderful Counselor. Half of it, we unpack the parable of the sower. The other half, we take a look at Jesus doing ministry to of individuals with each of the four spiritual conditions of the parable of the sower. Counseling the Faith, Volume 2, He Restores My Soul. The objective for this book is to review the biblical protocols, or the treatment protocols, if you will, or the corrective protocols to bring the three spiritual conditions into that productive space of what he called good soil. Also in this book, I share personal examples of how I have used the principles both personally and professionally. I want to share a little bit about myself. The material in this book is very real to me. Jesus has been, is, and will continue to be my wonderful counselor, and he is yours also, whether you know it or not. I want to read this out of Psalm 33, verses 13 through 15. From heaven the Lord looks down and sees all mankind. From his dwelling place he watches all who live on the earth. He who forms the hearts of all, who considers everything he does. Notice, he who conforms the hearts of all. It is his objective to conform all of our hearts into good soil. And that the fulfillment of that is obviously dependent on how well we cooperate with him and how closely we walk with him. But that's his objective. I have personally experienced all four of these spiritual conditions. And I also have personally experienced many of the Counseling the Faith biblical interventions identified in the protocols for them. right after I rededicated my life to the Lord, I spent the first year reading the Bible, and then I was burdened to study the Bible. So the next 3.5 years, I did an inductive Bible study on all 66 books of the Bible. Upon completion, I was then burdened to want to know how, where in the Bible does it explain my profession? I was clinical director of an inpatient drug and alcohol facility. I wanted to know what the Bible had to say about all this. And I aggressively pursued him in prayer, and these books are a result. I want to tell you a little bit about my faith walk. I was raised Catholic. After about 10 years of being disillusioned with God and the Christian faith, I rededicated my life to the Lord at the 1980 Creation Festival. Since that time, I've been involved in numerous denominations, to include the United Church of Christ, the Assembly of God, the Wesleyan denomination, and Baptist. I currently attend an independent charismatic church. While in these various churches, I served in various capacities, from elder, deacon, preacher, teacher, Sunday school teacher, Bible study teacher, various counseling ministries, youth ministries, and I'm sure there are more, but that's the extent of my involvement. I've also been a member of the 700 Club since 1980, and in 1992, I received my master's degree in Christian counseling from Liberty University. And all of those courses were the Bible was deeply integrated into the teaching, and I also had to take 2 theology courses. Now a little bit about my professional life. I've been in the counseling field for about 40 plus years. For 32 of them, I ran drug and alcohol treatment programs. Currently, I'm semi-retired, but I still keep my licensed professional counselor status active. For the last 2 years, I was the chaplain in the park at Gifford Pinchot State Park in Pennsylvania campground. This ministry is run by the Pennsylvania Council of Churches. I'm in my 3rd year as a substitute teacher in the public school in the schools of central Pennsylvania. And of course, these books and the ministry associated with it, and any speaking and teaching that I can do, I am very invested in. Those 3.5 years when I was studying the Bible, the book of Ezra really stood out to me, so much so that I had an Ezra license plate made for the front of my car. And specifically, it was Ezra 7:10. It says, Ezra set his heart to study the law, to practice it, and then to teach its statutes and ordinances in all of Israel. The pattern of study, practice, and then teach had a big impact on me. So in regard to these books, I studied the material, I practiced it, and now these books are my attempt to teach it. I hope that these books are a tool for you and for the wonderful counselor. And I want to read this out of the Passion Translation. It's Psalm 25:14. It says that there is a place reserved for the devoted lovers of Yahweh where they sit near him and receive the revelation secrets of his promises. I pray that these books will help you position yourself with the Lord to receive his revelation secrets regarding his kingdom, and specifically the parable of the sower and soils. In addition to helping you achieve good soil, I also pray that these books can help you to become more like Jonathan was to David. And this is in 1 Samuel 23:16. Now David was under severe persecution by Saul, Jonathan's father at this time. And he was in exile, so to speak. So it says here in 16, and Saul's son Jonathan went to David at Horesh and helped him find strength in God. Helping him find strength in God it is the epitome of the Counseling the Faith title. First, the wonderful counselor works with us to become good soil. And then my goal is to help you become better Jonathans to the Davids in your life. Notice that Jonathan, when he went to David, he wasn't a priest. He wasn't a prophet. He was a fellow soldier, but basically he was David's friend. God could have picked anybody to send to David to help him find strength in God, but God sent David his friend. And so the heart of these books are to help you personally, but also then to help you minister to the Davids in your life. You do not have to be professional to practice this. This was a friend helping a friend. So hence, Counseling the Faith. And again, the title is not intended to convey that these are professional books. Although, as a professional counselor, I know that the counselors who read these books can receive things from the books that can help them in their professional practice. So in summary, by unpacking the parable of the sower, I hope you experience what this says in the Passion Translation of Psalm 27:11. But you, Yahweh, took me in and made me yours. Now teach me, Yahweh, all about your ways and tell me what to do. Make it clear for me to understand. And I pray that you experience that. And pray that you understand how Jesus identifies and classifies our unproductive spiritual conditions, and how he has protocols for each to bring us into good soil. Lastly, I want to say, there is some theology, of course, in these books, but these books are mainly experiential, of me sharing with you my journey. I prayed for revelation and how to apply it. They're written from the mindset of an explorer, exploring how to apply God's truths in both my personal and professional interactions with people. So with that, I want to say thank you for watching this. I hope I gave you some understanding of what these books are all about. And I pray that you run after a deeper relationship with our wonderful counselor. Thank you, and God bless you.